Question one: what makes you happy?
So, the question is, what makes me happy? And to be honest, that's a real difficult question. If you think about it, I mean, happiness changes every few weeks and days, months, years. Um, but my happiness for a long time, for a really long time, was placed in people. And I know that it's the stupidest thing ever, but it was placed in people. Um, I guess I found happiness with people and in people that I really cared about. But lately, it changed because over the last 3 months, let's just say things happened and it changed. And it hurt. Life hurts and things hurt and that hurt. But I guess it was for good reason as to why that happened. And what makes me happy right now after the 3 months is, I'd have to say, my peace of mind. Just knowing that I'm okay, like where I am right now with myself, with my dreams, with my hopes, and just finding myself again. That's where I'm finding happiness right now. I'm at the point where I am self-loving myself, but not to the point where I'm pushing people away. It's more about, um, look, this is my standards of happiness, and if you don't agree with them, and if you don't understand them, if you can't comply, I guess, to them, then you don't deserve to be a part of my story because I'm not going to change what I find happiness in for you to accommodate you. I'm done with pleasing people with my happiness. So it's more about my peace of mind, my it's my happiness. I'm owning my happiness. So what makes me happy right now is just making sure I'm okay 100% where I am, what I'm going through, that I'm doing things for me totally. So no matter what happened over the last 3 months that changed the reason and the purpose of my happiness. It hurt, yes, but somehow I'm grateful because it forced me to focus on myself. And yeah, now I know that I have to be the center of my happiness and I have to take care of myself and not depend on people to make me happy or care about me, things like that. So yeah, that's my happiness right now. Just making sure I'm okay and that I have good peace of mind and good vibes for myself. Yeah.
So, what makes me happy, firstly, most importantly, is waking up every morning knowing that I have a gracious Savior who wakes me up, so that I can fulfill my purpose daily. It took me a long time to realize what made me happy, or what could make me happy, because I always used to rely on other people or get attached to people, and they would be my source of happiness, only to realize later in life that I should be happy with myself, because the whole saying goes like you can't pour from an empty cup, because your cup always has to be overflowed with love, and you can't give people something if you don't have it for yourself. um, and I always try to be kinder than what I am inside, because you don't know what the next person is going through. You can't judge them from or by by what they have or where they've come from. So like I've come from a really bad background, and I'm so happy to be where I am to compare to where I was. Yeah, to where I was. So I feel like when you are open with people and you love someone deeply to that extent, like when you love your neighbor the way you'd love yourself, people will be more open to being happy. I think when people feel less judged and more cared for and being treated more with respect, people become happier. So those are the qualities that I will try and instill in myself, and that's what makes me happy. And yeah, like I actually am reading from a phone, but you have to love open heartedly and not judge people who they are. And I think with that being said, everyone would be happy. And if everyone had to practice just being kind every single day, like literally making the effort open heartedly and being open minded to just being kind, caring, and loving to each and every person, the world would be a better place because then everybody would be happy, and that is something that would make me happy. But in general, I am happy. I'm happy with myself. I am happy with who I am. And I just hope that everyone can find their happiness within themselves first before they seek happiness with the next person. Yeah.
Video on what makes me happy. But before I could answer that, all the answers that I wrote down was materialistic things, sneakers, food, or my house, my room. But I didn't feel like it was authentic enough, and I want to be authentic in this project, this just this answer to whoever's gonna see it. So I googled the question and I came across something that helped me filter down my answers. And it said, or the thing that I came across, it says, if you are happy, you're more likely to spread happiness. And the things that really make you happy, they cost little to nothing, basically. But it's those things that you actually make time for, right? And that helped me really filter down the things that I'm about to tell you that makes me happy. So the first thing that came to mind, just really thinking about it after reading what I read on Google, was my relationship with God. Spending time with Him makes me the happiest. I feel empowered. I feel better about myself, better about the situations I face. But even so, just after spending that time with Him, I feel like I can go out there and I want people to feel exactly how I feel. That is really just spending time with Him, whether it be listening to gospel music and just worshiping. That's me spending time with Him, and that really makes me happy. And then another thing that also really makes me happy, another person, is my mom. So I've spoken to a lot of people and they always ask, we always see you so happy with your mom, you're holding hands, you're doing all of this. I don't have that. And that just makes me realize how blessed I am to have that with my mom. And I realized she went away on holiday, and when she wasn't here, I wasn't really happy. The fact that I can laugh and cry with her at the same time, the fact that I can speak my heart out and there'll be no judgment, but I'll feel so good afterwards, made me realize that that's having her makes me happy. And then there's the 4 friends that I do have in my life. Yes, only four friends. But just spending time with them, or well, after spending time with them, I soon realized like I needed that. Even though in the time, I didn't know that that's what I needed. And then there's 2 more things. So one of it's my bass guitar. Absolutely love it. Or wanting to play it makes me, just thinking about it makes me happy. And that's a materialistic thing, but it is what it is. Um, but I say my bass guitar because I have a desire to play it and play it for God. I've I picked up the bass guitar wanting to play it in church. And the day that I really told God, this is what I want to do, I told him that I want to play this instrument for you. No one else but for you. And then the last thing that makes me happy is achieving my goals. There's things that I've set for myself, but there's also things that God has set out there for me. And just in that spending time with him, he confirms that this is what he wants for me and I'm in line with his word for my life. And being consistent in pursuing what God wants for me and the goals that he wants me to achieve in life are the things that really makes me happy, because it means I'm actually moving and moving in God. And that's just what makes me happy.
What makes me happy? Very complex question, and the reason for that is if you look at life in general, there's a lot of things that makes you happy. Um, some people find that money and fame makes them happy. Others put happiness in other human beings, especially when it comes to relationships and stuff like that. People tend to want relationships or look at other people for happiness. What makes me happy is my two boys. My kids are the center of my life. They are so wonderful, but they make me happy. To see them smile, to be able to provide to them and raise them and be the best I can be for them is happiness to me. That brings joy to my life. And I won't want to trade that for anything else. I've been at stages in my life where money and fame and materialistic stuff meant a lot to me, and I thought it made me happy. And it didn't, because at the end of the day, all that stuff can disappear in an instant. And then you're stuck with nothing. So yeah, but basically, yeah. My kids, my two boys, is the center of my life. That's what makes me happy. Thank you.
What makes me happy? Here we go. Flaws. I've always been super insecure, always had a low self-esteem. I always find a lot of things wrong with myself, especially like having to wear glasses since I was a kid, having a stutter, and not having straight teeth. But what has made me happy over the years is I've encountered friends in my life and people in my life who's just accepted all of that things, and it's actually made me feel beautiful over the years. So thank you, thank you, thank you. The second thing that makes me happy is love. Love. Feeling loved is the most amazing feeling you can ever experience, I think. And being able to give love is just priceless. I think of my niece. I love her so much with everything that's in me. I didn't ever think I could ever love a human being the way that I love Annabelle. Love makes me happy. Being able to to show her at like such a young age that she's appreciated, that she's loved, and that she's valued. It makes me happy to give love. So always give love. The last thing that also makes me happy, out of all the things I could think of, was impact. Like we deal with people daily, and sometimes you don't even know that it's just priceless. I think of my niece. I love her so much with everything that's in me. I didn't ever think I could ever love a human being the way that I love Annabelle. Love makes me happy. Being able to to show her at like such a young age that she's appreciated, that she's loved, and that she's valued. It makes me happy to give love. So always give love. The last thing that also makes me happy, out of all the things I could think of, was impact. Like we deal with people daily, and sometimes you don't even know that you are inspiring someone just by having a simple chat with them, just by saying hi to them, just by asking a car guard, how's your day going? For me over the years, also I've also been so blessed to have people come to me to say you've like made an impact on my life, like when you did this or when you said that or when you know, like just being myself. So I'm happy that I could like leave a mark in certain people's lives, and I really hope to continue doing that for the rest of my life. After all, I want that to be my legacy one day. I want people to say, "You're like she was a blessing to me." Those are just 3 things out of a million things, but I think that's like 3 of the most important things I think that makes me happy. There we go.
What makes me happy is that when I can make someone smile by telling them a joke or by giving them like a word of encouragement or advice, and I can see that it like changes the person, and also what makes me happy is like when I see people who have been going through difficulties or going through like a tough time or something, and then what happens is that when God comes through for them, when God gives them a breakthrough, and then you can see like like they're out of a tough season, and I can see like that weight's been lifted off from them, and I can see that, and like that makes me happy, when I see when God blesses His people, when God prospers His people, when God takes His people from where they are like to the next level within their walk with Him, and or if like I've been praying for somebody, and then like and they tell me like what um they got like a breakthrough that within that situation, and like I feel like happy because like somehow I played a small part, in them getting the breakthrough, and also like being a blessing to people, if I am able to be a blessing to people, however it is, like it was a small way, or if it's like um whatever, you know and like and it helps them, that places my heart, that makes me happy, knowing that God allows me to be a blessing to people, then that makes me happy, because I mean that God blesses me too. I can be a blessing unto others, and when I see that people are happy, when people get married, when people have their firstborn child, that makes me happy, because like they get blessed, man, in different ways, not only financially, but like by getting an extension in the family, like having a baby and different things that makes me happy.